Hi guys, it's me, Super Theorist, Roblox Gamer. I can't remember the last. Anyways, so today,
sorry, just had to clear my throat.
we are going to be watching. I'm gonna be reacting to the Super Carlin brothers. This Jack's final power.
Today's episode of Super Carlin Brothers is brought to you by NordVPN. Hey, brother! Then, at the end of Incredibles 2, Helen gets all ironically bent out of shape because she missed Jack's first hour. To which Bob responds, actually, you missed the first 17. To which...
First 17? How could that be? What other powers does Jack even have?
I responded, 17? Wow, that sounds so high, and maybe
Exactly.
low at the same time? Wait, how many does he have? Today, we are going to figure it out. How many powers he actually has, and why him, Dash, and Violet have the powers that they have. I have to say, there are times when watching the first Incredibles movie that I wonder to myself, why did they even give the Pars a third kid? He doesn't come on the adventure, they don't know he had powers, and even his big scene at the end seems like it could have easily been edited out so that the Incredibles just defeated Syndrome in some other way. Adding the whole extra character just seems complicated. I mean, heck, one of the reasons they say Andy didn't have a dad in Toy Story was because of how difficult it was to animate humans, but we actually know the real reason. Click the card. But man, oh man, did they fix this in Incredibles 2, where Jack just totally steals the show with his hilarious antics, raccoon fights, and seemingly infinite powers. Now, there certainly are times where they do feel a little Deus Ex Machina-esque, like, oh wow, look at that power that just manifested itself for the first time in that perfect situation. That was convenient.
Yeah.
But there actually is a really cool explanation for why Jack has so many powers. As recently revealed by Seamus Gorman in an interview with director Brad Bird, definitely make sure you go check out that. I'm going to put a card right there as well. We learned that Super's powers are largely based on the individual's personality. So, for example, Dash is impulsive and lacks all patience, and so is naturally a speedster. Violet is shy and guarded, so she can turn invisible and create literal walls around her. Bob has to be the best, and he constantly feels the whole weight of the world on his shoulders, and that's why he has to be so strong. Helen is the quintessential mom. She just pulls in every direction, but always finds a way to make it work, which is why she's elastic. We also learned from Edna in Incredibles 2 that super babies often display multiple powers before eventually settling in on one or two, and Bob reveals that Jack in particular is displaying way more powers than either Violet or Dash did. Which is interesting because in Incredibles 1, Violet says,
Act normal, Mom. I want to be normal. The only normal one is Jack, and he's not even toilet trained.
And obviously, Violet would have grown up with Dash and watched him acquire superpowers, so the fact that Jack Jack hasn't yet makes it seem like he's something of a late bloomer, but that is definitely not slowing him down. The reason super babies actually have more powers than they eventually end up with, as Brad Bird says, is because babies are filled with unlimited potential. You don't know what they're going to become. They could become anything.
So, comment down below, guys, what you think Jack Jack's final powers will be. And please comment down below hashtag Super Carlin Brothers if you love the Super Carlin Brothers. Hey Ben, hey Jay, love you. I'm actually a big fan of the Super Carlin Brothers myself. I actually want to give a shout out to the Super Carlin Brothers and Seamus Gorman. They're really good theorists, though. I've seen Seamus Gorman's video where lots of people are just like, all you guys out there making fun of Seamus. I am just disgusted. Wow, I'm just really disgusted. You can't just judge people by how they look. And Seamus deserves more than that. So be respectful, guys.
And that phrase in particular seems especially true for Jack Jack, who seems to actually be able to change into almost literally anything. Let's go ahead and start listing off all of the observed powers Jack Jack has, because my real question is, which ones is he going to carry with him into adulthood? The very first one we ever see him use is Fire Baby, where he goes all Human Torch on Syndrome and lights his whole body on fire, which I'd say seems pretty useful. Bad for clothing, but that's immediately followed up by Steel Baby, where he becomes incredibly heavy, a power they decided to not include in Incredibles 2. And from there he goes straight into Molecular Vibration? Maybe, it's hard to tell. It might be just part of the transformation into the Demon Baby, but he starts vibrating a lot, like right here. And yes, vibrating is its own superpower. But speaking of Demon Baby, Demon Baby? This guy gets a lot of action in both movies and is typically prompted by anger or just not getting a nom-nom. Which, if you ask me, seems totally reasonable. I mean, those cookies look really good. Next are all the powers he starts rattling off for Kari in Jack Jack Attack, the first of which is teleportation.
That was really weird.
And weirdly, Jack Jack seems to have up to 3 different ways to accomplish teleportation. The first is the one we just saw, where he just disappears and reappears immediately. Then there's the kind where Bob is trying to lure him out of some separate dimension with a cookie. And then there's the, well, for lack of a better word, portaling, which we see him doing right here. And while all 3 basically accomplish the same thing, I'm still classifying them as 3 separate powers. And obviously, we just saw him levitating, so go ahead and add that to the list. And possibly wall crawling. He's sitting on the ceiling here, and it's hard to tell if he's, like, sitting on the ceiling because he's stuck to it, or if he's just floating there because he's levitating, but I'm gonna lean on more powers rather than less and say it's wall crawling. Kari, at one point, tries to keep him put by putting him in this super well-constructed cage. I mean, honestly, just look at this. You don't see laundry basket constructed like that anymore. But obviously that doesn't work, and he manages to bite a very perfect hole out of it, so let's go ahead and add enhanced biting to the list. Not that he needs to bite his way out of anything, though, because he can also just literally phase through stuff. I have to say, I really am pretty impressed with Kari. In, like, less than a day, she finds ways to combat, like, all of his powers, including laser vision. Oh, by the way, laser vision. Also, did you notice on the Jack Jack Attack, his laser vision was purple, but then in the movie it was green? And then there's a bunch of powers we only get to see once or twice, like his self-duplication, his telekinesis, his, I'm gonna call it glooping, the one where he turns all rubbery and the raccoon can't get him. I wish I had footage of that. Then there's the old, sneeze and fly, if you want to call that, where he just blasts off a few times. His metamorphism, where he can literally just change his appearance to match other people. It kind of reminded me of Tonks from Harry Potter. His giant big baby form, which personally I felt was the most ex machina part of the whole movie. Like, oh, how are we going to get out of this? Ha! Giant baby. That was lucky. And for good measure, let's round off with his random bursts of lightning, super strength, and general invulnerability for a grand total of 21 powers. Yep, turns out 17 was low, but it does make sense because those are just the powers Bob has seen. He might not have seen all of the ones that came in the first movie, like the Steel Baby, for instance. The real question, though, is how do we narrow this down from 21 powers? Well, the good news is we don't have to narrow it all the way down to just one or two. Other supers had many more powers, like Meta Man, for example, had 8. And although it's a little less in-universe, we can also use the kids' names as a guide. Because obviously the writers intended for their names to reflect their powers. I mean, Dash can, dash. Violet can control ultraviolet light, and Jack is a jack of all trades. So yeah, I'm thinking Jack's gonna have many powers, but which...
Are you done with your
And
video?
remember, Bradburn said personality plays a large role. So the question becomes, can we guess what his personality will be like and then match any of his existing powers to that? And the answer is, of course we can. Maybe, perhaps. I mean, well, Jack is full of unlimited potential, but we might be able to guess some of his inevitable traits based on nothing more than his birth order and something called youngest child syndrome. Yeah, anyone who has a youngest sibling knows what I'm talking about, right? The idea that birth order may predict your future behavior was first put forth by psychologist Alfred Adler. And while many people have studied this throughout the years and people have come up with different results, the 5 things everyone seems to be able to agree with about the youngest child are this: being highly social, confident, creative, good at problem solving, and adept at getting others to do things for them, according to Healthline.com. Yep, raise your hand if that sounds like the youngest kid in your family. I know my hand is up, both hands are up, frankly. Now, I should mention I'm certainly not a psychologist, and that although it's been studied a lot, in modern day they're starting to think birth order doesn't matter as much. It's more like environment, and parents, and gender, and things like that. But, that being said, Violet and Dash definitely fit their respective roles as eldest and middle children. Violet is responsible, mature, serious, a natural-born leader. Man, I tell you, being the oldest child is awesome. I'm surprised I didn't mention humility in here. Oldest kids are often very humble. I should know him. I'm one of the most humble people I've ever met. Dash, on the other hand, is classic middle child. Just ill-tempered, feels like the world owes him everyone, needs everyone to pay attention to him, can't wait on anything. Did you wait until I left the room to say this? Did you even notice I was gone? So while birth order may or may not actually affect you that much, the Parr kids are definitely written into the stereotypes. So, with that in mind, which of Jack's powers fit the youngest child syndrome? For highly social, I think self-duplicating makes a lot of sense. I mean, what better way to always make sure you've got a lot of people to play with, or that you can play with a lot of different kids all at once? Not to mention, he does it like 3 times in Incredibles 2. It seems like he already has some amount of control over it. For confidence, I would have to think strength and levitation, as being very strong often inspires a lot of self-confidence, and I have to imagine flying takes a lot of confidence. Like, I'm not gonna fall. I'm good. We're good. Right? Let's also throw invulnerability in, because that's often just a side perk of being super strong. I also think that since he has 3 ways to do it, that teleportation will probably be part of his future, but I'm thinking only one will survive maturity. And the one that fits creativity the best, I think, would be the portal version, because, I mean, did you see the fight between Violet and Void? That was freaking awesome. And while I'm not sure how creative it is, his go-to form when it comes to problem solving seems to be light myself on fire. I mean, it is the first thing he does when Syndrome attacks. Kari prompts it out of him while trying to creatively stimulate him, and he lights it up as soon as he runs out of other methods when fighting the raccoon. Which just leaves being adept at getting others to do stuff for you. And man, do I not think there is any power that could possibly fit this better than being able to physically morph your face into the appearance of other people. I mean, you can just always turn yourself into the person that person listens to. In fact, around a mature Tyler didn't do this all the time growing up. He might have a superpower, and that pretty much covers everything. But I do think we should also throw in Laser Eyes, because he just seems to have such great control. I mean, the family's actually using him as a gun at one point. And also, actually, I think we should keep Demon Baby in the mix, not as like a controllable power, but just a don't make it matter, that thing's coming out kind of situation. And that is my full list of powers I think adult Jack will have. Ben, my question for you and everyone else is, do you think that birth order affects your future behavior, and where do you fall in the lineup? And what powers do you think Jack will carry into adulthood? Let me know your thoughts in the down section down below. Now, guys, while in the Pixar universe they might be able to rely on superheroes to keep them safe, here in the real world we can't always quite count on that. Actually, never. Which is why I'm so excited for today's sponsor, NordVPN. Here at Super Carlin Brothers, we care a lot about security and privacy online, and if you do too, and you should, so you don't get hacked and lose your identity or something, you should really be using a VPN. VPNs allow you to securely access